Hello everyone, welcome once again to Learn Mathematics. This is Rekha Chabra, your maths teacher. Students, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel and keep watching my videos to make your concepts sound and clear. So we were doing chapter number 7, integrals, in which we have already discussed various methods of indefinite integral, and now today we are going to talk about some properties of definite integrals, and then we'll discuss few questions of exercise 7.11. Here are some properties which basically make our calculation very simple and easy, but we have to identify that which property is applicable. So the very first property is very simple. It says if we have a to b fx, then we can write down in any other variable. Next property says if we swap the limits, if it is a to b and we write b to a, then we are going to get negative of this thing, right? And in particular case, if you remember the fundamental theorem of calculus, how we apply the limits f of b minus f of a, and if both the limits are equal, then definitely we are going to get 0 as answer. Next property says if we have a to b, we can break the limits. We can write down as a to c and then c to b. Basically, let's say we have to find the area of this portion. This is a and this is b. Then somewhere in between we can break. Let's say it is c. So we can find the area from a to c and then c to b, and then we can add. So this is allowed. Next property says a to b fx dx can be written as a to b f of a plus b minus x, lower limit plus upper limit minus x, then also we are going to get the same result. Next property is particular case of this previous property, lower limit plus upper limit. So here we have 0 to a, so lower limit plus upper limit minus x, f of a minus x. This is very useful property and we'll use it almost in 90% of questions. Then we have 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fx plus 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Next property says 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to twice of 0 to a fx dx if this thing is equal to fx, and it gives us 0 as answer if this second term is equal to negative of fx. If you look at this P5, if this second term is equal to fx, then definitely fx plus fx we are going to get twice of fx. And if this second term becomes minus of fx, so these two terms will be cancelled and answer will be 0. Last property, we have two parts, one for even function, one for odd function. Even function, whenever we replace x with minus x and we are going to get fx in return, they are called as even function. And f of minus x gives us minus of fx, then we call it as odd function. So when we have even function minus a to a fx dx, it is twice of 0 to a fx dx, and in case of odd function we are going to get 0 as answer. But now, as I said, students, we have to identify and we have to understand that which property is best suitable and applicable, which can make our calculation simple and easy. Let's start with few questions of exercise 7.11. 0 to pi by 2 cos square x. Whenever you see trigonometric functions and pi by 2, pi by 4, then this property is the appropriate property. So let's apply this. F of a minus x. So what is a here? A is pi by 2. So pi by 2 minus x, it is sine square x. Now adding 1 and 2. Why we are adding 1 and 2? Because here we have cos square x. Here we have sine square x. So we are going to get 1. So what is the integral of 1? X, and after that apply the limits and get the answer. Second, root sin x upon root sin x plus root cos x. Here also we are applying the same property, this property. Sin pi by 2 minus x cos x, here also cos x and here sin x. And now we are adding 1 and 2, both the terms will be cancelled, again 1, again integral x and apply the limits, same answer. Question number 5, important. Before this, let's recall the definition of mod x. It gives us x if x is greater than equal to 0 and minus x if x is less than 0. Same way we can split this as well. It is going to give us x plus 2 positive of this thing if x is greater than equal to minus 2, and it gives us negative of this thing x plus 2 if x is less than minus 2. So it means we got this point minus 2. We can break the limits at minus 2. Means minus 5 to minus 2 and then 2 to 5. Right? Minus 2, minus 5 to minus 2 and then minus 2 to positive 5. These two intervals we will get. So first interval minus 5 to minus 2. This is the point where we can break the limits. So minus 5 to minus 2. Whenever our x is less than minus 2, what is the value of function? Value of function is minus of x plus 2. So minus of x plus 2 plus second interval minus 2 to positive 5 to upper limit. And whenever our x is greater than minus 2, so what is the value of function? X plus 2. So we have written x plus 2. Right, after that it's very simple. Integrate x is x square by 2, 2 is 2x. Here also x square by 2 and 2 is 2x. Apply the limits, solve and get the answer. Same way, exactly same, we have next question, mod of x minus 5. It gives us positive if x is greater than equal to 5. It gives us negative of x minus 5 if x is less than 5. So basically we got the two intervals. One is 2 to 5, right? And another interval 5 to upper limit, 5 to 8. 2 to 5 and 5 to 8. So 2 to 5, whenever our x is less than 5, value of function is minus of x minus 5. And in the second interval 5 to 8, 5 to 8 means our x is greater than equal to 5. So the value of function is x minus 5. And after that, integrate and apply the limits. Next we have seventh question, x of 1 minus x raised to the power n, 0 to a. So we are applying the same property, 0 to a, f of a minus x. A is 1 here. So a minus x will be what? 1 minus x. So x will be 1 minus x, 1 minus 1 minus x. Open the bracket, we are getting this. Then again open the bracket, integrate, put the values and get the answer. Now log of 1 plus tan x. Here also we are applying the same property, tan of pi by 4 minus x, a minus x, because a is pi by 4. Now tan of a minus b, tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a into tan b. Tan pi by 4 is 1. After that 1 plus 1 minus tan x upon 1 plus tan x. Take LCM, solve, split it, tan log m by n, log m minus log n. Right, and this term is again the given integral, right? This was I, so this term is again the given integral. From 1 we can say this is I only. Take this to left side, 2i is equal to this, then apply the limits, integrate and get the answer, pi by 8 log 2. Now question number 15. Question number 15, very simple, sin x minus cos x. Again we are using the same property, sin pi by 2 minus x, cos pi by 2 minus x. Same way here in the denominator. Adding 1 and 2, we are going to get 0 and everything is 0. Then answer is simple, 0. Log of 1 plus cos x. This is important question. Same property first of all. Right, cos of pi minus x, 1 minus cos x, cos pi minus x is minus cos x, adding 1 and 2. Log of 1 minus cos x plus log of 1 minus cos x, log m plus log n. Log m plus log n is what? Log mn. Mn means 1 minus cos x into 1 plus cos x, or 1 minus cos square x. This is 1 plus cos x, right? 1 is 1 plus cos x plus log 1 minus cos x, and log m plus log n is equal to log mn, right? And what is m? M is 1 plus cos x, n is 1 minus cos x. Apply the property 1 minus cos square x, which is sin square x, and then another property of log m raised to the power n is equal to n log m. Right, so this 2 will come here and we are taken it outside because constant. This 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out. Now look at this next step. Now I is equal to 0 to pi log of sin x, right? So now we know that sine of pi minus x is sin x, right? So we are using this property, using 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to twice of 0 to a fx dx. When this happens only if f of 2a minus x is equal to fx. So we have considered 2a as pi here. So a will be definitely pi by 2, right? Now look at this step. Sine pi minus x means sine 2a minus x, f of 2a minus x. So pi minus x is sin x only, right? So if we replace here x with pi minus x, then also we are going to get the same result. We are going to get the same function. So if this condition is satisfied, so 0 to 2a fx can be written as twice of 0 to a. A is what? Pi by 2 log sin x, right? Let it be 4. Now we are using another property of a minus x. So log of pi by 2 minus x is cos x. Right now we are adding 4 and 5. Log sin x plus log cos x. Adding log 2, subtracting log 2. This 2 and this 2 cancel. Log sin x plus log cos x plus log 2. Now we are combining these three terms. So log m plus log n plus log p. Say anything. So it will be log m n p, means log 2 sin x cos x, and this is formula of sin 2x, right? And split this term log 2. Write it separately. After that, substitution. 2x equal to t, 2 dx equal to dt. If x is 0, t is 0. When x is pi by 2, upper limit, so t is pi. Apply that log sin t dt minus pi by 2 log 2. Now this is what? This is integral only. Okay, I upon 2 minus pi by 2 log 2. Now I minus half I, right? It is I by 2. Half I is equal to minus pi by 2 log 2. So I is equal to this 2 and 2 cancel, minus pi log 2. So this was a very good question. I would suggest you to please practice yourself, and remaining questions please try yourself or 7.11. If you face any problem, we can clarify in the online session. And please don't forget to post your comments in the comment box. Thank you very much.